So the other half of 50 marks in paper 7 is attributed to this particular subject called Enterprise Information Systems. Now, like I said, couple of important points to know. Of course, these are not certain things that are somewhat general in terms of, kind of the understanding, because people believe that it's not really essential for us to know certain aspects of information system, obviously, because we are not dealing in that field as a core objective. But in today's time, I mean, tell me which field is working without IT support? There is hardly any. And that is the field that we deal in terms of finance, accounts. There is a roadmap of going 100% automation in these fields. So it can endanger the traditional subjects of audit. Why do you need to audit? To find the possibility of going wrong. What if I give you an assurance that instead of telling reasonable assurance that they are true and fair, what if I at the ground level itself say there is no possibility of something going wrong only? Somebody who is an individual, that too human being, prone to human error, giving an opinion which is again based on their judgment, saying that financial statements can be true and fair. What if I tell you that nothing can go wrong in accounting itself? When nothing goes wrong at the accounting level, why will be there a need for audit? Now many places, I think constantly we've been picking that example, so we'll pick the same. I should tell you, traffic police is going on the wrong side, who will catch him? Now, what if there is no traffic police in the story? Now already we have automatic cameras in many places, right? I hope you heard of motion sensors. Yes, they detect motion and they will capture the picture. So you don't really need a human involvement there. Now there are many, not just one or two, many. The Instagram that you are on, the feed that you see is programmed to your behavior. YouTube, right? Or for that matter, Amazon, Flipkart, and the likes of them, they all share data, right? So Swiggy knows what you would like to eat. Zomato knows which restaurant you are commonly preferring. And it is impossible for a human being to sit and analyze this data, that too the current level of data. Just imagine in a minute how many Swiggy orders are punched in, and if you want to gauge every user's behavior, it is practically impossible. Sir, why are you telling us all this? Only for one reason, that there are certain things that have taken over certain traditional aspects. Like people used to analyze data and it was called statistics. You learnt a bit of that in foundation, right? Statistics simply doesn't imply taking mean, median and mode, right? There is a purpose of doing all of that. So you take a mean, I hope you know words like mean, median, standard deviation. These are, the correlation between something, right? Or simple like human behavior only. Human behavior, if you like something, you will correlate with it, otherwise you go regressive on it. So numbers also behave the same way. Now, all those words that I told you, mean, median, mode, the standard deviation, these are all technically formulated into programs. These are all having formulas, right? Did you solve all of those? So anyway, we are not going to that, but this when applied as a algorithm or a program, or rather I want to keep it very simple, sequence of steps. That is the English definition of what an algorithm is, right? Algorithm is a technical word to represent a series of steps written, a code to function in a particular manner. So how is it helpful for us? Now I think many people will obviously disagree when I say that it is a very essential part of our curriculum. They'll say because you are making money out of that, you are telling that, which is somewhat true, right? But alright, anyway, so that is a question of avoiding this. Maybe you can run away from the subject, but subject doesn't leave you so soon. What are you going to work on? Pen, paper, pencil, is that the future? That is gone. Right now already every business has gone through a phase of automation. What is a business? What are the aspects of doing business? What strategies will we use in business? Vision, mission, objective, strategies. This study we have already done in one part of the subject. plus IT is what makes an organization today. So, are we killing the fundamentals of organization? No. We are going to achieve vision objectives only through the power of IT. Acceleration. I hope all of you are driving vehicles know what an accelerator is. IT is the accelerator right now. It's more than a catalyst, right? It's not going to speed up any reaction. It's going to stay for long. And the advancements. See, the business world changed. Commerce to e-commerce. E-commerce to m-commerce. And guess what? This entire transition happened in 7 to 8 years. Okay? In 2012, I still remember the first time if I was placing an order on Amazon, I was very petrified. Whether will I get my order or not? So you never pay money only. You're afraid to pay money through any cards because neither there is awareness of what will happen, nor you have any understanding of how the entire logic works. So, I mean, even before that, not only 2012. So 2012 there was much of an improvement. So I'm talking about the late 2000s. So already internet has been a rage and explosion in the early 2000s, 2002, 2004. That's when people started being on the internet. Now, for the world to get used to that, it took time. This decade belongs to artificial intelligence. That's what people are saying. Right? The last decade belonged to e-commerce. So all e-commerce startups, do you see have $1 billion valuations now? So many of them. Right? And every now and then one or the other is becoming a $1 billion company. Now, so e-commerce has the outbreak has happened, it is going on, it will go on, no issues. What's the next? See, earlier we were doing work, hard jobs. I told you this transition of using a donkey to carry clothes to how washing machines are doing that for us. So, I used to always refer to hard jobs as donkey doing that work. Now, you are not talking about making the donkey work faster, you are talking about not using the donkey at all. So, sir, are you saying that human skill will be endangered? Maybe I am saying so. Okay, I don't know. I cannot say that. But 100% automation is not possible. Which field will be benefited? That I am not sure. But see, you need to create artificial intelligence only to a certain extent. Right? Anyway, I don't want to give up too much unwanted or unconnected information now. There are respective topics, but I would like to quote one example as to tell you, simple, if you concentrate and listen, how the subject can be very interesting. It is very interesting actually to know what's happening around us. Now, if you just look at it as question answers or a 50 marks thing to come in the exam, it will always put pressure like anything else. But going beyond that, just about what is happening around us, we got to strike a balance both ways. So, if you see, the power of artificial intelligence has gone so far that one artificial intelligence system can go to an extent of creating another artificial intelligence system. Now, when that replication takes place at a larger scale, and these systems are programmed to do things correctly, they don't do human errors like what we do. So, they do perfectly. In the last year or so, Facebook shut down their one of the most anticipated, awaited artificial intelligence project. You know why? There were two robots. They started talking in a language which others couldn't understand. You heard of that? Anybody? Yeah. There are two artificial intelligence devices which started talking in a language which only both of them could understand. They shut down that project immediately because you don't know what are the ill effects after that. You don't know what they're talking. So, is it like you created your own destruction? Probably yes. Now, okay, there are so many movies that show some of these things. That is for cinematic experience. Things will get done in 2 hours or maybe 4 hours, 6 hours in a web series. That's all. But practicalities are too far ahead from all of this. Okay, thinking about something and it actually happening to us is a very different thing. Okay, so yes, there are great effects. There are so many good things about it. At the same time, each of them come with a whole lot of negatives. Now, in this particular subject, you will absolutely be foolish if you study only the good side of it. Because every topic, I have been calling this entire use of IT or information systems as a buy one get one free offer. What is that you buy? You pay for this IT, you buy comfort. That is to ease out your headache of doing things. But what that get one free is a series of risks. This is just like saying I want to travel distance faster. So we'll go buy a vehicle, whatever. Risk of accident is also bought along with that or not? Now I am not saying no vehicle, no accident. Which is, see, if you are standing in some place, somebody can still come and hit you, the roof can fall on you. Other dangers are there. But not because of vehicle. I think I asked you this question in the past. Once again I am asking. If you don't want the risk, what should you do? Don't drive. That is what we said. That means don't. In the sense, it is a classic risk avoidance strategy. That doesn't make any sense. So today, we have to use information systems. No thinking about that. Sir, in your house, what are you using? In my house, that's not what we are talking about. Just like what we discussed in strategic management. I hope by now you know that many things like a SWOT analysis, a TOAST matrix, a Kurt-Lewin's change process, all these are applicable to us also. Right? All those are human-made concepts only. Can we apply on us also or not? But we didn't discuss it in the context of your life or mine. We discussed in the context of a same story. We are going to discuss this also in the context of a business, an enterprise. So, if you normally go with what I told you, like strategy means what, management means what, strategic management, same way. Enterprise means what, information means what, system means what. Let's decode these three words and then we will obviously try to understand why they titled it so. What is an enterprise? Organization, business unit, charitable unit, not necessarily profit making only, no. Enterprise, that's why they are using that word. If you business information systems also they can tell. They didn't tell that. They said enterprise. I don't care about your motives. A non-profit organization cannot use IT or what? They can use, all of them are taking online donations, they are all online. They are conducting so many activities online. Communication happens online. So there is so much of IT even there. Anyway, again, this is the facilitator. Use of information system is only a facilitator. That will only ease your job. So it is not any replacement for something. It's an ease of your job. If you don't want, you can do it the normal way. Correct? I'll snatch away your calculator. Okay, we'll feel handicapped because we got so used to it. But tell me something. Given extra time, will we not be able to do those calculations? Okay, it's a different story. Answers will go wrong. Right? But that risk is there here also. Now what if you type something wrong in the calculator? If you type correctly, only calculator will show answers. But did you ever validate how the calculator was made? Whether the calculator is made to do correctly? When you buy calculator, what will you do? You will test 4 into 3 because you also know that only. You tested 127 into 329. You don't know. You won't test. So you will test 5 into 2, 4 into 3, 4 plus 3. All known answers you will see and you will think calculator is working perfectly. Huh? You used calculator now. When you bought the calculator, did you try 1 divided by 1.10? You don't know that time. Something like that will be there. When you came here to learn PV factor, that's when you know that something like this can be done. Oh, equal to has so much power. That is when we got to know. Correct? So, the functionality is programmed. That's not questioned. We need answers. So, this is like that. Enterprise needs only answers. It doesn't need any logics or systems. Okay. I need answers. How? For which we will use something called as information systems. A broad-based description of what an information system is and how it is broken down is discussed in the 3rd chapter that we will see later. For now, for your quick understanding, I am just telling you, information. What is information? What is information? Okay, very good. From 10 years I am listening the same thing. Information means data. Then tell me what is data? Tell, data is information. Will prove you, hence proved, oh you shouldn't. Why, if information is only data, then what is data? There are 2 classifications about that. Data is, it is a simple collection of facts and figures. This is absolutely raw. Okay? Data is a collection of facts and figures which is having no context. Which is having no context. Class is starting on 25th. Which class? Which 25th? Who is it relevant to? That sentence doesn't make us any, but it's a fact. Some class is starting on the 25th. Which one? So if you just add a little bit to it, CA inter, now that also which subject we are not telling. Some particular audience is being, now like say you read something like class is being started. Which class? Is it engineering, medicine, related to accounts? No idea. Simply. But it is a fact. Some class is starting. So data, when analyzed, understood, segregated, you can have so many names or activities, sorted, segregated, aligned, collated, different kind of data will have different. If it's a pattern, we'll call it alignment, right? If it is simply numbers, we will go with ascending, descending, whatever, an order. So if you do all of that and make this data a meaningful one, data when it becomes meaningful, that means it gets a context. Simple logic. Classes start on 25th. To CA classes start on 25th. To CA inter classes start on 25th. Has a lot of difference. Classes start on 25th. No context. CA classes start on 25th. It is at least meant to only CA student. Now again there is a doubt in the CA students whether it's foundation, inter or final. When you say CA inter class, you are representing a clear audience of only one of the three. Like that, the more better the classification of data is, the much better will be the use. And when put to use, the bigger question will be why. I already taught you how to learn definitions. We got to question those 6 questions. So we already answered what? Knowingly, unknowingly. What is information? It's a processed or meaningful form of data, correct? Hey, nothing can be created on its own. It has to be created from data only. And it's a very meaningful thing. But again, there are some questions like that. For whom it is meaningful? What is meaningful for you necessarily need not be meaningful for me. A non-CA student seeing the advertisement of the class starting on 25th, whether it's inter, final or foundation, does it make any sense to them? It doesn't belong to them only. Are you understanding, guys? So, what becomes data or what becomes information is totally in the perspective of the reader, decision maker, user, by whatever name you want to call them. Okay? If there is no context, anything will be data only. So tell me now, what can be data for somebody? Can it be information to somebody else? And vice versa? Like I just said, CA inter class are starting on 25th. I will go and join, or I will go and understand further because I am in that league or zone. Somebody who is non-CA, so let them start. What do I mean, like how does it matter to me? So for them it is simple fact. Yeah, some class is starting. It's a fact that class is starting on 25th. That's all. So it's some data for them. So what becomes data or information depends too much on the context of whom? The user, reader, decision maker, by whatsoever name you want to call them. A proper definition of what it is when we go to the respective place we'll see. But right now, did you understand it? It is a bettered version of data. That is one. What are systems? Systems are, now there is a very, very wrong notion about interpreting system as a computer. Computer is also a system, that's all. But the colloquial use of system is so synonymous with computer system that the word system is always assumed as computer system. Systems technical definition goes by set of interrelated elements or group of elements working together. What is it? Set of interrelated elements. What are these set of interrelated elements doing? Working together. Why? Because they don't have any job. They are working together to achieve a common purpose or a goal. All these have a common goal. Your younger generation only, that is. When they are standing there also, they don't have sense. Class is going on. Like, you don't behave as if you have. Come on. Right. Very. You are senseless level 2. Then level 1. That's the difference. That's all. Right. What are systems? A set of interrelated elements. Simply if you bring a few interrelated elements, they won't become a system. They have to work for a common purpose or a goal. Human body is the best example of a system. Right. So anything, a set of interrelated elements working together. Right. a device that plays out sound. We are calling it a music system. Or in other words, some people call noise, whatever. Correct only, no ma? If it's pleasing to the ear, it's music. Same thing when decibels are increasing is noise. What is music for you is noise for your mother, correct or not? Possible. Everywhere it's like that only. Right? So, their music is sad story for you. Right? So, like that. So, it's a context given by the user. But anyway, we need set of interrelated elements. Now, these interrelated elements happen to be a keyboard, mouse, the components like RAM, motherboard and other processor or those elements that make up a computer system. So specifically, we will talk about those computer systems or their aspects little later. Right now, to process this data into information, this one right here, to process data into information, if you are using a set of interrelated elements, basically computer, simple, nothing more than that. Which other, see only two things, you can use a human body, right, a human being, if your brain you have to use and convert something to information. Okay, we did that for so many years, fine, we are exhausted, then we found a device called computer. Now, so many advancements have taken place in that computer that without you explicitly programming for it, it is doing. That is called artificial intelligence. Anyway, I don't want to get to the definitions of all of that. They are all there in the later chapters. One by one we'll see. One final question that I would like to answer before we go, because I cut it off there and I just went on to discussing this. How is it relevant to us? As simple as that. Today, let's talk about a client who is working on, what do you say? A client who is working on a software, simple one like Tally. Tally is the most simplest of the accounting softwares that you can see, or even more simpler, QuickBooks like that. There are few, nowadays we have so many simple softwares. We have something like a software called Kata Book on Android. It's a simple, very simple one. A company, small one, has huge valuation, right? So they're very useful in like small businesses. The agenda is not to do something great there. What came in, what went out, debit, credit. They don't understand those words or language. So what came in, what went out. Simple. That is what is called kata, no? So simple. It maintains. Now somebody who didn't ever have the practice of maintaining accounts, they are also maintaining. Somebody, I used to see a lot of people maintain a book or a diary, something like that. What came in, what went. Even today, there is no classification in this. There are so many rich businessmen that I know who will still maintain a book for themselves like that. Not like they don't trust anybody in their organization, that is their practice. First one also is true, right? but it's a very good check for themselves. You go to a top manager and ask them how much came in, how much went out. They'll be like, call my accountant and ask. Many places, right? If the CEO or somebody is like of a startup, somebody is in the younger generation, anybody like say between the age of 20 to 35, if they are successful in a business that they started, unless they are aware about accounts, you call them and ask, what is your P&L status, or right now what is the business going on. They'll call somebody who is responsible to do that task. They can't talk, they can't tell precisely, they can't tell this is why business is what it is doing, right? You see anybody who's in the business, like say somebody who started their business 30 years ago, or anybody who's the age of 45 and above, who has this practice of maintaining the book. Right now, what is going on in the business? Till this afternoon, what was updated, they will tell you. Why? Simple practice. They have information. Okay? If you walk into any DMart store and ask them, right now, stop your sales. We want to match your inventory, physical inventory available in the shelf versus what is the availability of inventory in the store. You take a printout of available inventory from their system and start doing physical verification. There are 95% chances that it will exactly match. That 5% also, because I didn't do it personally, I'm leaving it. Otherwise, their systems are so foolproof. Okay, they have to match their inventories. And this particular thing can apply to anybody. Just walk into Shoppers Stop, Lifestyle, any Central. How much inventory is there? It's huge. Their business thrives on inventory. Right? Ask them to stop, take out the inventory sheet, cross check, I'm giving 95% plus, 5% variation, okay, not so material, but I'm just giving that leeway. There are possibilities they can match it 100%. How are you so confident, sir? Because the softwares are designed like that, right? Nothing can come in, nothing can go out without entering that software. It's a different thing that if thieves are there, internally or externally, customers also not less. So, yeah, that is pilferage. We're not talking about that. We're talking about inventory coming in, going out. So, but tell me something, 10 years before, was this not there? 20 years before, these kind of businesses didn't exist? Then, how did they manage? Manually? Was there an option? No. Back then when calculator was not there, they used to do a handed total. Calculator came, they took the support of calculator. Now, they're just punching in the numbers or the codes of various products, you're reading the bill. If somebody is spending a little more, they're putting an optical head and they're putting or a barcode reader, whatever. Optical head is a much better one, has a wider space. So just wave it across, keep throwing in the basket. That's how, like baskets and baskets of shopping get built like that only, no? Just imagine if, despite that only so much time is happening at the billing counter. Imagine if manual billing was the case. Ideas like that can't exist. You cannot run a DMart. Right? Just imagine if one person is buying in DMart with that full trolley of it, to normally bill that using optical head, scanning all of that, throwing them back into the basket and taking the card or taking cash, finishing that will take anywhere between 3 to 5 minutes. Depending on, I'm talking about, let's say, a full basket. Okay, now lesser items, okay, fine, otherwise. Like that, people buy 2-3 baskets and go. Now, in a day, how many? In a day, how many are being done? In a month, it's practically impossible. And how can you ensure accuracy? So, that is exactly why systems have been automated. What is the word we are using? That's our very first chapter called business processes which have been established. They have been automated. Now, I'll decode this for you a little later. I'll just give you an introduction to what the syllabus is. Then we'll decode that word because that's our first chapter we're going to start off with. Okay, there. Then, I think second one, I don't have to title, that is what the stream we are in. Right? So, where does money come from? Where does money go out? Finance is the lifeblood of any business and it's cross-functional, right? Marketing. To do marketing, what do we need? Obviously, you need whatever marketing requirement, but do you need money or not? To do R&D, what do you need? Money. To do production, you need material, but to buy that material, you need money. So, basically, finance. And without that, an interconnection of movement of how blood flow is important in body, finance flow is that important in the business. And we know that, we have seen and studied that already. We validated that statement. So, financial accounting systems, how a change has taken place in that field. It's a very simple, these two chapters, not like others are ridiculous. I'm just saying, these are having very limited, pinpointed, focused content on some aspect. Easy to score marks also. And then, I think as the title goes by, information systems, a slightly wide topic. It talks about what are the components of information system, what make up that. Everything good will have risks, as I told you. So what are the risks? Everything that is risky cannot be left like that. They will be controlled. See, I'm just saying that, acceptance of risk is not a dare step all the time. Sometimes it can be stupid also. I will not fall, I will drive. Buy a helmet. So you will not fall, is confidence. If you fall, you should not get hurt, is sensibility. You should have both. Too much of only one. You don't have confidence, but you bought helmet. Definitely with helmet also you'll go and fall. Confidence is required for conducting the activity. Right? You did whatever best you can do, but lack of confidence while driving, you will anyway fall. You have full confidence. You are very careful, but you encountered with somebody who doesn't have that. You don't wear helmet because you think that nothing will happen. I drive very well. You drive very well, you have confidence. Sensibility, opposite person also should have, no ma. So, see, if you are the only one driving there, you do whatever you want. And it's not a limited people race track, something like that. Right, where everybody finds the same sense. No. Here people drive wherever place is there. Correct? Not on the road. Wherever place is there. Everybody has their own requirements. So some people will drive on divider because they feel that that is safe to go. Some people park middle of the road, so they are happy. Everybody can stop for a few hours. Right. Best part, all these people who are violating whatever I'm saying, they are lacking either of these. So we don't want to lack either of those, which is why controls come into the picture. IT systems are also like that. You cannot understand just the purpose and put them to use. So no sir, it's putting up the risk to hacking, virus. Of course, not hacking and virus. 15 of them are there in that list. Little later in the chapter we will see. Sir, I don't want any of those. Don't use IT. That's not a sensible answer to do. So use them. They will come. Set up controls. So that is discussed here with lot of controls at various levels and all of that. Then the way how business is done today, the most comfortable way of doing business is all about e-commerce, m-commerce, but it actually deals also with digital payments, a few of those. And 10 emerging technologies are being discussed, right from the concept of virtualization to cloud computing to grid computing, because today even accounting and other aspects are done on clouds and using grids. So knowing all of that is kind of very essential in the environment that you would obviously go. Now if you strictly ask me, only if I know that will I be able to do audit? Not all of it, but definitely yes, some of it. If you really want to enjoy the quality of doing a, audit in automated environment, unless you know all these. Fifth one, or the fifth chapter is again like 1 and 2, it is a straight and dedicated topic. These two have lot of assorted topics here and there with so much of, of course in chapter 3 it's all about information systems only, but 3 different parts. 4 has so much about e-commerce, digital payments, everything on the internet, and it's like completely that stream of things. But when it comes to fifth one, it's only a specific software. What is that specific software? And that talks about core banking systems. What are core banking systems? Core banking systems talk about the software that is used exclusively in banks. Okay. Now, the concept of banking, it took a drastic change. Oh, it's been over a decade or so, but from where I remember standing in queue with my parents at a bank to today, I don't remember when I went to the bank last time. Huge transition in terms of banking. And as I told you, with the concept of UPI and other things, like for 1 rupee, 2 rupees, all the people are using UPI. So just imagine the extent of data that hits on the bank servers every minute. So we have come very far from where we were, and India has one of the most robust banking systems in the world, and no doubt, which is very strong actually. We'll talk about that in a different context and different discussion. Okay, now we have a very simple task to start off with. What is it called? Automated. So again we have to raise a question of what is a business process, then only we can talk about automation. If you are automating something means what? Nothing. A process will be there. You are now using computers to do the same process. It's the simplest way of putting it. Normally what do you mean by process? Series or sequence of steps to finish one start to end of a process, or start to end, what will we call? Series or sequence of steps. But you are adding now to convert input into, that is an extra wording or a definition that you can say. That is applicable for production also. Not only in computers. You are giving input and getting output in production techniques also, no? So that's what we are trying to understand here. Now, the beginning topics, couple of them, I believe will be a revision. So I will give you a couple of minutes time to read. Now if you are whiling away that, I am not responsible. But you remember vision, objectives, the levels that are there in the organization. Do you remember our friend Michael Porter, who was given a value chain analysis? As part of value chain, how many activities do you have? Value chain, primary activities, support activities, 5 primary, 4 support. I don't want even those. But at least, do you remember that such things are there? At corporate level, top management, managerial processes. At SBU level or divisional level, other processes are there. Then we have all these 6 of finance, marketing, HR at the operational level. At least do you remember all of that? So please, do me a favor by reading one example or a small table which has all of that. Okay, so let us get to chapter number 1, which talks about automated business processes. Okay, wherein a concept is going to be introduced to you called as BPA, business process automation. Nothing. First, if you know what, tell me something which is very interesting to know. Does every business have to have a business process? Every business, does it have to have a business process? Why a business cannot run with without a process? Why? Is there any rule that then you will do something? How can you call that a process? It is not written or something. Okay, I understand your point. You're saying that maybe it's not formally written or something like that. So that is why I am asking that is it compulsory for every business to have a process? Not compulsory means what? See, I don't want so much explanation of yours also. I am asking a very simple question. You can think. Street vendor, does he have a written down business process or something like that? Or can you give me a guarantee that whatever technique he uses today, we'll use tomorrow also? He only don't know what you will give guarantee. His objective is to get a sale done. He will do whatever it takes to get the sale. So he used the technique to make a sale. Second day, is there any guarantee that he has to use the same technique? It is not working for him on a different customer. So can he change? Does that happen on Amazon? No. They have a formal process. That is how you can buy on Amazon. Or whoever you are, they don't care. So first I want you to understand that there are 2 types of organizations. One, they are called as process-oriented organizations. What are they called? Which means they will follow processes. There is one more set of organizations. They are called functional organizations who believe only in work. Whether there is a process or not. Right? Sir, will they get results? Of course they will get results. Because they are doing function, no? Sir, but will they get correct results? That is not a guarantee for both. Okay, tell me something. Can you tell me or give me a guarantee that every process-oriented organization will be successful? You are telling no very confidently. Then tell me, why should I have a process? All that I don't want, I want answer. Okay, but that you are telling anyway cannot come. You are not giving me a guarantee. See, you give me guarantee. Sir, if you put process, nothing will go wrong. Can you give that guarantee? Then why are you arguing for a process-oriented or not? How does it matter? I don't mind. Even if your answer is not certain. Right? See, it's actually very simple. I don't know swimming. I can drown in a swimming pool or in an ocean. I'm still going to drown. That is what the point is. You're understanding? So if it's not in use, it doesn't matter whether it's a swimming pool or an ocean. It will drown in both the places. Correct? Are you understanding? So, when you talk about a process, if it is there, no doubt, definitely advantages will be there. I would definitely not ridicule or rule out that. But it is wrong to say only process organizations will be successful. Functional organizations won't be successful. We can't tell that. Everybody didn't go to IIM. Everybody is not a graduate from Stanford to have a formalized written process. Everybody will not understand environmental change the same way. Everybody is not going to prepare SWOT and TOS charts and go by those only. Nobody is doing all that. There are some formally established organizations which do that. There are also organizations which don't do all that. So you cannot tell that only A will be successful, B will be not. Understood? That is explained a little bit later. I will read out the introduction for you, which I have already discussed. Then you will do the basic aspect of reading this vision story, the processes story, all that for me. Then we will straight away get into the major part of discussing BPA. Very interesting, easy topic. Questions easily will be 4 to 6 marks of weightage. So questions have been asked in the past, they'll always come back because, like I said, chapters are very limited content. So definitely they have to ask you questions from those 12 or 14 questions that are there in that. So definitely you will get one. Which one? I don't know. So you have to stay fully focused. A EIS, in short, or Enterprise Information System. What happened to that? May be defined as what? A kind of or any kind of information system which improves the functions of an enterprise. What does it improve, ma? Yes, functions of an enterprise by integration. This is a key word. You will see it in this book so many times. What do you mean by that? Bringing together. Simple word, combining. But integration is about bringing together. What are you bringing together? You are bringing together so many things. Components, processes, cross-functional, whatever we told. I'll tell you what will all be integrated. Finance and marketing, should they be integrated? They remember that example of the past. R&D, production and marketing. Should they be integrated? Otherwise R&D will research something, production will produce something else. Remember that mismatch in cross-functional linkage. Remember linkages? Like that. One more thing, let me tell you. Majority of the topics are not going to be new. They have topics that you saw here and there. But with more proper context and an IT touch to it, we will discuss. Some new topics are there which we will learn. Okay. So it's not going to be some out of the box that you have never heard or something like that. They are there. The only thing is you have to apply. And there are so many things that you have already used. But only thing you are not very conscious while using that this is this only. Okay. NEIS provides nothing but a technology platform that enables organizations to integrate and coordinate their business on a robust, that is a strong foundation. Okay. Just think of banks. Do they work on a single big software called core banking or not? Yes. Otherwise, how can you have an HDFC account and go to a Kotak bank and withdraw? Right? In the ATM. So I walk into any ATM, can I withdraw money right now or not? That's so amazing. Correct? Earlier, when the ATM was introduced for the first time, I remember going 4 or 5 kilometers away from where, or even more than that, to that branch where you have account and that ATM which is connected to that branch. You can withdraw from there only. Facility was not there to withdraw from anywhere else. Then they said you can withdraw from any ATM of that bank. So if I'm an Axis Bank customer, I can withdraw in any Axis Bank ATM. Then it went on to say that you can withdraw from any ATM, provided you do only 3 transactions a month. 3 became 5 after some time. I think now also it's 3 or 5 depending on whichever bank it is. Because undue usage, it's not like you can't withdraw. When you can withdraw 3 times, why can't you withdraw 30 times? You can. But RBI put it as a cap because it's a service which is extra on the head of everybody. So, but just imagine from where you should go to the same branch to withdraw money to you don't even have to withdraw money. That is the situation today. You can freely transfer money across accounts through using immediate payment services, UPIs, right? So all of those services are available. What made it possible? One integrated software called the core banking system. Like that. A EIS, what does it do? It provides a single system that is central to the organization that ensures information can be shared across all functional levels and management hierarchies. It may be used to amalgamate, means bring together. It may be used to what? Amalgamate existing applications. An EIS can also be used to increase business productivity. Not that you don't know how to do business in the past, but you want to increase the productivity and reduce. Do you know what is cycle time? Come on, you are all students of costing. You should know what is the production. Time taken to. What is the time taken to? What is the time taken that you wait after you make an order called as? You placed an order. You placed an order till when you receive goods. Lead time. Correct or not? But lead time alone is cycle time or other things are also there? That ordering time, lead time, production time, distribution to entire finish one cycle. What is it called? One operating cycle. That is called a cycle time. The best part about using information systems is it reduces the cycle time. And also lead time, obviously, right? We'll talk about all of that in the advantages part. For now, EIS can be used to increase business productivity, reduce service cycles, product development cycles, marketing life cycles. Other outcomes include higher operational efficiency. I hope everybody knows what efficiency is. If with the same amount of input, you are generating more output, or with less amount of input, you are getting same level of less input, more output is ridiculous. I told you so many times. How can you do that? Come on, guys. Less input and bringing the same level of output. Both these are doing the same thing in a much better manner. That's why they're titled as efficiency. Please read the example and just see. I'm sure you all did the transactions. I'm asking you to read. It's not like read also. Just validate if it is correct. Did you guys make any one e-commerce order? Yeah, just read. It's not a very tough process. Come on, quick. Did you understand, guys? Did you do that? Any kind of a transaction like that? You must have been one side of the transaction only. So this is the, from the company's point of view, we are talking about business information systems. If it was customer side, they wouldn't have told the story. Customer side only one part, that placing the order part. What's happening at Amazon? This is what is happening at Amazon. Can you recognize that? If you are working in Amazon, this is what you will be doing for every transaction. What is that? That when customer places an order, does somebody have to pick up that order and go and tell somebody? Not required. It will automatically reflect in the warehouse's portal. Yes or no? You finish making an order. Add to cart. That's what you do first. Add to cart. Then you will say make payment. Then that takes you to a gateway. You make the payment. Then an order number is generated. Correct? That's all. It will generate an order number for you and it will take you back to the home screen, or it will continue shopping, waste more time, that button will come, and whatever. So basically, now the moment from your side a number is generated, will you be promised about delivery time? Same day delivery, 1 day delivery, 3 days, 5 days, depending on from whatever product you order and which warehouse it is available. The moment an order number is generated, that is reflected in the warehouse's portal. People are sitting there. They have been employed. For what? To clear those open orders. Once an open order is created there, what will they do? Go to the respective shelf, pick up the product, pack it, paste your address on it, and ship. Immediately you will get one update here. Your product has been shipped from the facility. Then, obviously, during transit, you will get updates. They're all automated. These are all automated. So, from some warehouse it was started, reached to another facility, from there to facility here locally, then to the local area, out for delivery, so and so time delivered. So customer is kept informed throughout the process. And that is good customer management. You know what is happening with your product. I made an order. Suddenly one fine day somebody comes and knocks the door and says, this is your order. Between that, order anyway came. Between that and this, no big difference in the order delivery. But today I ordered. Tomorrow afternoon somebody came and delivered. And didn't get any information in this 24 hours. The world will come down. Nothing will happen. I got my product. But between now to tomorrow, I don't know what is happening with my order. So whether you like it or not, notifications are sent to you. Why? So that customer is kept well informed. You read it or just swipe it off or delete it without reading, that's your headache. But it's a duty of the entity to inform you. Clear transparency. Just imagine, every time if they have to pick up a phone and call and tell you the status, how hard it would be. That is exactly where technology plays a key role. What is happening? Customer places an order. Data will automatically flow to other fractions. Other fraction means other parts. Okay? Other fractions here means other parts or other departments. Hello, fraction means not 1 by 10 here. 1 out of the 10 departments or divisions, like that. This is little ahead of OU English, so just when customer place an order, data will automatically flow to the other department or other fraction of the organization, which in turn lowers cost and increases customer satisfaction. Okay, so that is exactly the thing. It goes to the other fraction of the company, then coordination between these. As I told you, there is no logical reason why you need to be told, but satisfaction. Right from when you place the order, what is going on? Like I said, when I make the order, they told me 22nd you made order, 23rd afternoon you will get it. I am happy. If it doesn't come on 23rd afternoon, I will call the customer care. But from 22nd afternoon they started, your product is being packed, it is being shipped, it is there. So that I won't ask questions. I am being informed. Better customer satisfaction. Because, tell me, seriously, I am asking you, what is the difference between 5 updates in those 24 hours to directly keeping the product in your hand in 24 hours? Any problem? Ideally speaking, 22nd you ordered, 23rd afternoon 2 o'clock you got the product. Example 1, no discussions in between. 22nd you ordered the product at 4 o'clock in the evening or something. 6 o'clock one update, 9 o'clock one update, next day morning one update, then out for delivery. Within 2 hours our agent will reach out to you. This is the number you can call. Why all this? You are anyway getting the product at 2 o'clock only, no? But in this 24 hours, what is happening at our end? I want customer to know. That is exactly why. Otherwise I'll keep thinking that I ordered on Amazon. What is Amazon doing? Correct? That is why you take the help of these systems. Then, so you make an order, you say that what? Make payment and finish it, or put cash on delivery and finish it. Order will trigger at the warehouse. Warehouse people will pick up the product, pack it and schedule a shipment. Warehouse will inform the factory to replenish. Replenish means what? Kind of come back and fill that cart. Hello, you ordered one product, no? So one product out, one product should be in. That is effective inventory management. Accounting department will be notified to send the customer an invoice. Data's department will keep track of payment. Nowadays, all these are done by one department only, thanks to the ease in systems. Maybe 2 departments, somebody dealing with the last part, debtors alone, one. Rest all paperwork, one department only can do nowadays. But tasks are split. Are you understanding? Okay, what is the definition of business process? Come on, that's not tough. What is the definition of business process? Set or a series of activities done to what? Yes, achieve a particular outcome, that is called a goal. A business process. In this chapter, no? In this book, with all the chapters. Every chapter will define process with the same meaning, but in different words. Some place you will see it's a set of now you are telling it's an activity or set of activities. Some place they'll tell process a sequence. Same meaning only, no? Sequence of events, that means one after another, whatever it is. They'll tell you in multiple context, but the point continues to remain the same. A business process is an activity or a set of activities that will accomplish a specific organizational goal. Business process management is a systematic approach. What is it? To improving these processes. To improving. Like I just said, I'll give you a couple of minutes time. Not like I don't want to read, because I know it's more easy if I read and finish it off faster. But I want you to recollect what forms where and what comes where. So there are 3 boxes. One which talks about who makes vision of the organization? Corporate level? You have Come on. When I don't ask, don't tell all levels. That is not required all the time. I didn't ask about strategies. Strategies are made at which level? There is no doubt. I am talking about vision and mission. Corporate level is involved actively or not? Then to support those vision and mission, two different processes are there, correct? One who plan what to do, management process. Two, functional process, who actually do work. Yes or no? Come on, take your 2 minutes, do it. What is there in that box? Hey, nothing new is there. If you remember Michael Porter's value chain, it's all those chain activities only. What he described as value chain or value addition, that is only there. They are, first of all, this is not our topic, if you understand. They are recollecting this business process for you so that they will teach you how to automate this. That is the theme of this chapter. No, not learning this process. These are already done. Come on, please see. At which level what they will do. This one right here, the box, vision, that is about corporate, operational processes and management and support processes. Selling, distribution, marketing, production or development, customer service, all these are what? Operational, front face, yes or no? Read come on, there's nothing new in that. That's why I'm asking you to read. If you are done taking care of this box, I want you to start reading the categories of business process where you need no help of mine. Come on, fast. Who's there on the extreme left here? Vision, strategy, business management. Who takes decisions about acquiring new businesses? Governance, compliance, all these are one set of process, the corporate level or not? Develop and manage products and services. What is this called? Production. Hey, developing. Marketing and selling. Delivery. Managing customer service. All these are what? Operational process or not? HR management. Financial management, IT management, what are all these? Management processes. External relationship means customer relationship management, legal, regulatory, health safety. So this is all more compliance and managerial related. So basically how many processes are there in the organization? What are those? Operational process, front line, shop floor, whatever we call them. Remember them or not? Operational process, nothing but functional or shop floor, and all these supporting processes, technology, infrastructure, yes or no, and managerial processes which talk about those big ones, vision and all of the stuff. Come on, go to the next page, 3 paragraphs. We'll be explaining this quickly. I want you to recollect, that's not my task. And there's one example. Come on, fast. Hey, everything of what is there on page number 3 is what I want you to cover in the next 2-3 minutes. It won't take more than that. I want you to just see what sort of process are and validate whether what we discussed in strategic management holds good in this definition. Obviously, it will not change, just that you need a validation. Come on, fast. It's a slow and steady start, guys. Things get interesting as we go on. There are a lot of interesting concepts. There are a lot of, I won't call them boring because shouldn't call them that there are certain concepts that are like, say not very practical because we haven't seen them. So sometimes you might not find that connect, saying that's a very exciting topic. But there are so many of those which you have already used. So like I said, you have to balance both. That's how the subject goes by. Okay, come on, quick. Primary process, support process. Michael Porter's theory on value chain discussed both. So I want you to just validate both. Remember delivering value to customer? Yes, sir. That was our favorite line for one full topic of value chain. Ultimately, what are we doing? Value creation. Remember that or not? Yes. So who do that, ma? Managers who sit in the Air conditioned chambers who make vision, do they do that or frontline? Frontlines who have interaction with customers face to face, are they the ones delivering a value to the customer? That is why they are called what? Operational or primary processes. Hey, did you read or not? Come on, quick. How long does it take to read those three simple one-liners there? Classification of process. Do you know the example they gave for the first one? Order to cash means which process? Sales. Order to cash is which process? Sales. Write down there in bracket if you want. From when the customer makes an order to when you will receive money. Operational process, deliver value to customer. Deliver value to, by helping to produce a product or service. Operational process represent essential business activities that accomplish business objectives. Then support process, they're nothing but something that back up the core process. Obviously we don't even know who these people are, but we would obviously definitely get benefited by their activities, but they are not client facing. They are not people who directly talk face to face with the client. Okay, somebody like HR. If an organization HR is not good, how will those people deliver value? So if you like an organization for its service, it is not just that the front people did the service to you properly. It is because the HR team, the finance team, they all worked well. So those process that back core process, what are the key differentiator? Operational and support process that underline, they do not provide value to customers. Hello, they do not provide value to customers. No, directly they don't. That's all. They do not provide value to customer directly. Remember staffing? What are they? Putting the right person. However, hiring the right people for the right job has a direct impact on the efficiency of the enterprise. Example HR. Okay. Management process. How about that? These guys will participate day to day? No. They bother about what? Results. Measure, monitor and control activities. Remember, taking corrective action is called control. Do you know these words or not? Management process, measure means check what the performance is. Monitor, understand what is going on. And control, take corrective action related to business procedures and systems. Like supporting process, again, management process also do not provide value directly to the customers, but it in fact impacts the survival of the organization itself. However, it has a direct impact on the efficiency of the enterprise. Okay, so that is a story of right from where it goes to a vision. Okay, that is the activity from where to a budget review or whatever, a flow of various events. Now, quickly, you know, the long range blueprint of an organization is a strategy. A roadmap of company's future is a vision. Present business scope is a mission. Numbered targets are objective. I am not revising for myself. Do you know all this or not? It is depicted as one example there. Please read the example and be ready. Let us discuss and close it once and for all. Come on. Till here it will just be a revision for all management concepts, because we are going to automate these processes only and we will see how. So our topic of this particular chapter begins there. Till here whatever they told you is what you should be supposed to be knowing. Okay, come on, quick. One example is there which talks about doing something. Come on, fast. Everybody concentrate while you're doing. Are we done, guys? So it is one of the a dairy company. What is their vision? It seems double their turnover. Simple, 2x. They want to just double their turnover. Presently, what is 10,000 crores? They want to double it up. So that's a. I don't think that will happen tomorrow, day after. So it's going to be a roadmap for company's future. Is it a vision statement or not? Yes. But you cannot just do that. Should there be some actions or not? What are the actions that they're doing? The top management stayed down, entering into new markets. Do you remember this? Market penetration, launch new products, acquiring existing companies, acquisition strategies. Yes? Is it an acquisition strategy? Part of diversification only, yes or no? So all these are activities. Anyway, where the top management has to take decisions. That's what our point is. Support process. Again, what was envisioned by top, a huge effort is needed on HR front. Okay, like defining and creating new management structure. Remember Chandler's theory. Whenever you come up with a new strategy, new problems will emerge. To break down that, you need to make structural changes. Hey, yes or no? So performing all HR activities. One thing, that is not alone the only support activity. HR is one of the best support activity examples. That's why they keep giving the same thing. What will be the last one? Should you manage money, finance, marketing, HR, production? All. This is where the hard job is done. The operational management, which is nothing but all physical work, whatever is being done. Post the management process, operational managers will implement the decisions in the actual working form. And it is here where all the hard job is done. That means in bracket write on physical. The real activity where it goes on the hard job which is being done. Nothing. There is no difference in hard job, soft job and all that. The other two areas what you are seeing there, that is just talking about job without a physical form. Like if you are conveying a strategy, what is it? It is something which is intellectual, right? Not a physical thing. You can visibly show a factory. You cannot show a product idea. So like that. Understood? Everybody? Are we clear till here? Is a very, very simple introduction to this particular chapter, which talks about those areas or organizations which are into having processes. But before I start discussing the next topic, which is the key topic here, I would want all of you to know one very important thing. And what is that? That is organizations being classified. Okay. So there are two classifications to an organization. What is that? I told you some time back. Organizations are classified into what? Organizations are classified into functional and process oriented. There are functional organizations and process oriented organizations. Functional and process oriented organization. Now if you listen carefully, process oriented organizations have what? Established business processes. What do they have? Established business processes. What are we trying to do now? Automate. Which ones? These established business processes, whatever are there. Hello guys, are you concentrating? Established business process, whatever are there, we are now going to conduct an exercise of automation. So guys, tell me, this process of adding IT to an existing organization's business process, what is it called? In short, this is only called BPA. But these business processes, should they be effectively managed or not? Business process, should they be effectively managed or not? So management of these business processes is called as, concentrate guys, come on, BPM. What is it called? BPM. What does BPM BPM stands for what? Business process management. Automation is what? Use of information technology, or simply I'm saying IT. Did you understand these two separately? So now tell me guys, the resultant activity of what you call as BPA. So can I write BPA is equal to BPM plus IT, that is use of information technology. Already business processes are there or not? Are they being managed or not? Can we now use IT to better manage them? Hello? What is that concept called? Please answer series of questions. Okay. So what does functional organization mean? Correct? Then how are they working? Functional organizations, they don't have any process. Then how do they work? They work in the form of departments. Functional organizations work in the form of, yes, departments. They are also called departmental organizations, or they work in the form of departments. They don't work as a process, or a particular thing has a process that has sub process. They don't work like that. How do they work? They work in the form of department. I have series of questions. I want everybody to listen carefully and then answer. Don't shout some yes or no just like that. Oi, students. It's okay, no problem. Right. I understand you're in tremendous pressure of ongoing exams of OU. So, it's okay. Sometimes this behavior is accepted. Alright. First question. Is it compulsory for organizations to have processes? No. If an organization chooses to have processes, is it compulsory to have automation? No. Remember both these. They can ask you questions on these, though they are not printed anywhere there like that. The context of what I'm talking about. Once again, can organizations, don't answer like how you answered 1 hour back. Maybe that time you didn't really know the context of what I was asking. Now be clear, guys. Can organizations work in the form of departments? Traditional organization. I'll give you the name for that. I forgot to write that. These are called traditional organizations. Functional organizations are, they are a traditional. That is how we have been following. Traditional setup. Okay. This traditional organization, the traditional setup is that where you don't have any defined processes. How do you do work? Just do it. That's all. Right? You just have to go by performing the action. Sir, will there be a marketing process? No. Sir, will they do marketing? Yes. How? They just go market. There's no process. First you have to do this, next you have to, nothing. They'll do function. Will they get answers? Yes. Can that organization be successful? Yes. Very well. So many years, many organizations worked on that patterns only. Okay. What is the first conclusion? That it is not compulsory for organizations to have. Everybody, wake up, not compulsory. Are you clear or not? Yes. 2. Those organizations which are now running on processes, is automation compulsory for them? They are called as non-automated or BPM organizations. What do they follow? BPM, business process management. Is IT compulsory for following? No. They just do business process management to enhance the ability to do certain things. What are those certain things? Not one, I will give you 7 advantages of going with BPA. That is why we will go for the use of IT. Now everybody, finally equation is clear or not? Yes. How did BPA result in? Organizations which are already doing business process management, they will now use the power of IT. Good. They will now use the power of information technology to speed up or enhance an existing business process, which will eventually make it called a BPA. Are we clear? So, if you want to write down this, you can do so, because it is not there in the same form of what I wrote. It is there elsewhere in the books in different ways, because they use these words, functional organization. Hello, later somewhere in the next or third chapter, somewhere they use functional organization. Don't be blank. They are referring to those organizations that don't have process. So anyway, care to write that. Take a minute to do that. Come on, quick. Organizations are classified into process oriented and functional. Done, guys? There are certain things about BPA that we are supposed to discuss, starting with what is the definition of BPA? What is the definition of BPA? If you are doing automation, there are few factors. As I told you, there are so many advantages, precisely 7 in your syllabus. There are more than those 7, but 7 are discussed. We will also talk about it. So, we have advantages, but I told you advantages don't come just like that. So, there is a little bit of risk involved in the story. What is that? Now, there is one more important question. Blindly we cannot automate any area. If an area does not deserve automation and you pour in all your resources into automating that area, still it will be a waste of time, energy, money, all of that. So, should we select those areas that are suitable for automation and then do automation? Then big question is there, how to do automation? Areas suitable for BPA, areas not suitable for BPA. So, we make a small thing to understand here. So, going by BPA or business process automation, what all are we going to see? First, we will talk about a quick definition of BPA. Then we will talk about those factors that affect the success of BPA, because if certain things are not maintained or mandated properly, you might be influential. So factors that affect the success of BPA. Then advantages or benefits of BPA. Advantages or benefits, however, with whatever name you call them. Advantages or benefits of BPA. Then we do have to understand two things. Areas in which BPA is possible, or areas in which BPA is performed, and what are not suitable. That will be the last branch. We'll come back and write that. Now, let us go back to the story. Continue reading. It's a very important, easy context definition. In BPM, versus BPA. What is not there? Basically, technology is not there, correct? So, automation, is it a technology enabled process? Must see, it is very difficult for you to by heart the whole book. That is not what I want you to do. So, stay put, concentrate in the class. You will get familiar with the terminology that you have to use. You make decent sentences using those terminology because you are already good at English. So, anyway, jokes apart, it's a very serious thing. Hello? It's practically impossible to by heart the whole book and write answers as it is. Right? But at the same time, you are expected to convey the point correctly. So, there are certain words that are mandated to be remembered to make a decent sentence of. If you can do that, you will have all your marks. If you don't know what it is, 0. Simple. So, striking a midway somewhere is not there. Do it well or don't do. Its subject is like that. Right? And like I said, without you knowing what is the right thing, you will always get stuck there only. So, it is not about how much you studied, what you remembered, how did you write in the exam. That's what matters. And for that, all you need is a proper understanding. If that is there, which words to use? I am not really bothered about how you write the sentence. The point has to be conveyed with that particular word. Now, like say in this BPA, technology enabled. That is a key word. I would like to see that in everybody's answer. See, you need not write the entire paragraph as it is, but I want to see technology enabled because that's what it is. Guys, are you following? So, what is BPM? Technology enabled automation of what? That accomplish a specific function. That accomplish a and can be implemented for many different functions of the company, including sales, management, operations, supply chain, HR, IT, in all those areas. Is it not like what I told you some time back? If BPM is there, you are adding IT to it. So for all these processes which you recognize as support process, if you support them by use of IT, is that what is BPA? Yes. It's not a hard definition at all. What is BPA? Technology enabled automation of various processes. Keep it simple. Activities or services, that means process only, no? Simple. Guys, can you all rephrase the definition what is it told? BPA is a automation of what? Basic business process. Can we do that? Yes. Job done of a specific function or an activity or whatever. With BPA is a tactic or a technique, rather you can say that uses to automate processes to operate efficiently and effectively. Remember the last time when we used these two words together, we called it something optimum. Yes or no? Hello, yes or no? BPA is a tactic a business uses to automate processes to operate efficiently and effectively. That's optimal. It consists of integrating applications using softwares throughout the organization. What are those softwares? We will slowly read one by one. Nice softwares are there, right? It consists of integrating all the applications, but that word integrating is a tough part. If you have multiple applications to do something great, you cannot bring all of them together. That is a headache. So sometimes organizations are forced to use software A for one task, software B for one task, software C for another task. And that is where the birth of a new concept took place called ERP. Enterprise Resource Planning. Have you heard of softwares like Oracle, SAP, Tally? Tally does accounting. That's what basically they started with. But Tally does tax management. Tally does inventory management. Any software that does more than 2 functions is called ERP. SAP does 30 functions like that. Something else might do 50. Core banking systems do 100. Like basically one-stop solution for the entire. Anyway, that is not our current discussion. But I am just saying that yes, there are lots of softwares. Integrating and using these softwares throughout the organization is what automation is all about. What is BPA? The tradition of analyzing, documenting, optimizing. 3 words. BPA is a tradition of analyzing, documenting, optimizing, and then automating business processes. I'll give you one insight or an example, rather, however you want to consider. That will be useful for our next two topics. Think of an organization that does not have automation. An organization, is there a problem of getting hacked? No. Why? They're not there anywhere. Is there a possibility of books getting stolen? Yes. Why? No, see, they are not having any technology. Just it's a manual, work-oriented organization. Is there a tension of virus? No. Not the pandemic virus. The electronic, your virus means tension will come. Which virus? So, not the one. The computer virus, is there a problem? Web defacement or computer crimes, cyber attacks, hacking, phishing. No, none of those. Why? So tell me something. The root cause of all those words that I told you, though they are all called, what is the root cause of all that? The root cause of all that is not technology. The root cause of all that for you is you using technology. If I am concentrate, if I am not using, I will be away from all that. Whoever is using that, will they face all that or not? So is the problem in technology or in the usage? Think about it. Is the problem there in the technology or in the usage? You still stick to the same answer? Because technology brings those problems. No doubt. Problems come along with technology. You want to take it or not depends on your usage. Simple, like riding the bike, don't ride. Simple, two things. Okay. If I'm not driving the bike, risk of bike accident is not there. I told you some time back, if you're standing somewhere, our roof also can fall on us. Risk we are not avoiding, guys. Concentrate. I'll tell you something. With over the years, I've developed some examples or discussions to make the class fun. Okay, are important to know certain things like that. In all that, don't remember only the example and forget what we're talking about. Okay. So in that process of trying to understand, later otherwise only roof, all those things only will be in your mind. Why we discuss that? So, sir, we discuss about helmet, we discuss about traffic police, roof, and what context did we discuss all that? That and all we don't know, sir. We talked about roof falling, people dying. Don't, kill the theme of the topic. Now, okay, listen. Alright, listen carefully, guys. So what was I trying to depict, telling that if all those are not there, those problems are not coming means what? So if you are not using, they will not be affected. So does it also mean that if you are doing BPA, are you buying some things? What are that you are buying? You are buying a risk. Risk of what? Long list is there, we'll discuss. But I'm telling you something. Till now, this particular organization didn't get exposed, or their data didn't get exposed because they were maintaining it within them. The moment you talk about computers and internet, is it a bought out risk? Somebody sitting in that corner of the world also can hack the data now. So if you want your BPA exercise to be, what is BPA exercise? This one, this last line, here, BPM plus IT, you are adding IT. So if you want this exercise to be successful, this one here, what do you think you should do? We'll install controls, that is later story. But what should you protect? How should you protect? By establishing controls. What? Information or data. What will you protect? The data's originality, the data's confidentiality. Are you understanding what I'm trying to explain? Eventually there is only one asset in the story, data. What will you protect? Data. What will you protect about the data? The data's confidentiality. What do you mean by confidentiality? Somebody who should not see the data should not see it. Somebody who is not authorized to see. Here authorized, unauthorized is a very favorite word in the book. It will come so many times. So we will also continue to use that only. Unauthorized disclosure of data. What is it called? Breach of confidentiality. Hey, concentrate. Unauthorized usage is different. Unauthorized disclosure. Somebody is not supposed to see the data saw it. What is it called? Breach of. Somebody change the data. Data will be in one original form. That data's original form, its truthfulness. Remember in audit we used to constantly use one word for truthfulness. Integrity. Honesty, like that. So basically, no, the factors that we are introducing here, CIA. If you just peep into a book, you will also find one more T, but A and T go hand in hand, right? Availability and timeliness. Classes are starting on 25th. I got to know this on 30th. Tell me, is it information? Huh? No, it is just data. Class over, long back. Correct or not? It is a fact that class started on 25th over. It's a past story. Sir, you should have told me on 24th then. You should have known for it. Are you understanding what we're talking about? Here it's very important to understand availability. Data which is not available to the right user at the right time is not data at all, or not information at all. And if it's not available, one headache. Available but not available on time. That is why many books, like in the sense, in this context, they don't differentiate these two. Availability and timeliness go hand in hand. All these were not a problem in a non-BPA environment. Hey, concentrate. What is non-BPA environment? Why should you protect confidentiality? But that time also risk of somebody stealing books is there. But very limited, only physical stealing. And if somebody gets access to those books only, they can tamper the integrity of the data. Or make it not available on time. But if you want a BPA to be successful, how many factors should you bother about? What are those? The data's confidentiality, data integrity, data's availability and timely. Please read and put a star. It's a small 2 marks question. 4 points are there, very simple. What are the factors that affect the success of BPA? If you breach or if any of these 4 get compromised, that's a ridiculous BPA. Correct? In fact, what need not be automated, you unnecessarily automated and exposed it to the whole world. Is that a danger or not? So if your BPA exercise has to be successful, what is good for you? To maintain these 4. Read those 4 words. And what is the definition of BPA? I want everybody to tell me that once again. It is a technology enabled. Good. Technology enabled automation of activities involved in business. Or activities. Simply you can say activities in business. I'm just keeping it short. Okay. Come on, read about CIAT. Let me also help you here. Come on, fast. What are we talking about? 4 factors. If you want, BPA is not about going and buying one software. Understood? Right? Buy some hardware, buy some software, put up an information system, call the organization automated. No. That's not what we are calling BPA as. It's much more than that. And how? I will explain in the next session when we discuss about steps involved. For now, if you want your BPA to be successful, it shall only be achieved when BPA ensures 4 of those things. What is that? Post automation, if any of these 4 go for a toss, life would have been better without automation only. So if you are putting all these 4 activities or 4 words at risk and then doing BPA and you compromise on CIA, gone. Like I said, A and T, I don't generally differentiate, not does anybody. So many places they'll talk about CIA. So I want you to remember what are the 3 words here? So who should see the data? Authorized personnel. Keep it simple. That entire line means that only. Write down there in bracket. To ensure data is only available to persons who have the right to see the same. What are they called as? Now, first time, no? That's why they told you full line. From next time, they'll use authorized, unauthorized words. That is why I want you to name that. Who have the right to see the same? They are called as whom? Authorized personnel. This is about people. What about the second point? No Unauthorized amendments. You cannot say amendments should be made. Data can be amended, yes or no? Valid changes should be made or not? Hello? If valid changes are not made, how data will be upgraded? Very, very important. That is why words are, you have to understand. To ensure that no unauthorized amendments. You cannot say amendments are not made at all. Amendment will be made. Right? Amendments are to be made time to time. But two questions to be asked. Who is making the amendment? What is the amendment? The one making the amendment, is he an authorized? He or she is an authorized person or not? The amendment being made, that is valid or not? We'll discuss all this later. But integrity represents what, ma? Originality of the data. Keeping data in its original form. An original form can undergo amendments, no problem. But those amendments should not be good. And what about availability? To ensure data is available when asked for and at the right time. You can club both those points actually. These two are about availability and timeliness about data go hand in hand. If you can't protect the CIA, if you means not you, if the software, the automation, the BPA that you are doing, if a BPA cannot ensure these three, and if there can be any compromise on this, it is a ridiculous BPA, drop the idea. Simple. To ensure that all above parameters are met, BPA needs to have appropriate internal controls put in place. Okay? So, all three aspects came off or not? What came? When you bought BPA, you got benefits. Oh, yes or no? Two, with benefits, did you risk came? No, they told you have to have controls also. And this triangle love story will go on between these. All topics, all 5 chapters. It's a simple triangle. What is that? You will go buy the software for benefits. Risk will come for free. Risks have to be neutral. Risk elimination is not possible. The only way, I'll teach you some terms, but the only way how you can, risk mitigation is possible. We discussed this, right, already. Elimination can be done only by one way. What is that? Don't use. That is a ridiculous idea in today's time. How can you tell business don't automate, don't have e-commerce portal or platform? Not practical. So have, but have mechanisms. So that triangle will always continue. What is that? Benefits, risk, controls. And these controls also know what we established today will not continue for 10 years. When new benefits are coming in, new risks will come, new controls. This is a cycle. That is why we call it a triangle. And this goes on. Sir, in which topic? In every damn topic in IT. Because every new activity that you take up to bring up a new software, it will bring risk for free. Risk have to be neutralized by establishing controls. Otherwise, whether you like or not, you will be thrown out of the system. Not by your choice, but like I said, in the past we used to talk about competitors, right? To come last in the race, you don't have to do anything special. Like that here also. To lose, you don't have to do anything. If you don't amend or if you don't upgrade in the needed time, you will be outdated very soon. So you have to upgrade, because once an established process is there, people feel very happy. After all the effort, we came up with a fantastic process. But for how long? Not even 6 months, 3 months, 1 year. We don't know. The next technological change can force you to bring a change. And if that is your core business process, I hope you remember what is core business. That is central for the success of organization. Hello? If that process is being automated and high risks are there over there, so you have to be careful. I will never say better not to automate, because that's not what. It's not a question only. How will you say better not to automate? Then better sit at home, don't do business only. Nothing will be a problem. The roof only will fall. No, that's what will happen only. That is the only possibility if you sit at home. So if you want to do business, risk will be there. And if you want to do business properly in today's world, you have to use IT. Risk will be there. You have to ensure the CIA. Sir, I'm taking so much effort and doing all this. No. What will I get? You will get 7 exclusive benefits. Actually, more are there. But as I told you, 7 have been discussed as exclusive benefits in your book. Now, of course, you have to mark 2 stars. It is one of the most asked questions from this chapter in the exam. Benefits of BPA. 2 stars is the topic. One of the most asked questions from this chapter. Benefits of BPA. Easy. 7 points. Right. The syllabus was somewhere introduced in 2018. From there till now, they've asked it more than 4 or 5 times. Such a favorite question of the examiner because it also does establish the entire version of BPA. Okay, now, guys, tell me, human beings, can they have bias onto something? Like, this is a very important activity, I'll focus more. This is not very important, I'll do it casually. Now, when they're doing it casually, is there a possibility of errors? When they over concentrate, also errors are there. That is, I should not go wrong. When you extra focus and do the definitely. Anyway, both are dangerous. But why do you think this happens? Because we are programming or sending signals to our mind that we don't want to do the task. Or we are saying that we want to do this task without going wrong. So you are putting it on more burden. Is that correct or not? Sir, then what should we do? That is where those problems are not there for systems. But tell me, 10 rupees transaction or 10,000 rupees or 10 lakh rupees, how will system treat it? Same? So we are passing an entry for 10 lakhs. You have to focus. You, individual, human being, you will get subject to the value. System doesn't bother. For it, amount column, numbers are to be filled. 10 or 10 lakhs, it doesn't matter. Correct or not? Yes, and this transaction, specific priority, that transaction, no priority, it won't treat like that. Human being will treat like that. Small transaction, no problem even if it goes wrong. That's our attitude. System doesn't do that. Consistency is the word that we are trying to find. First and foremost thing, unwanted prioritization is not given to anything. So tell me, with that consistency in place, will quality remain same for all transactions? Quality and consistency. That's your first point. Come on. The business process flow. A business process basically is the flow of information customized by value added tasks that begins with the primary contact with potential customer, that is starting with customer and continues up to delivering the finished product. And I don't think I have to explain that, you know it. Start to end of a process we all know. What are the advantages? Quality and consistency. Right? What is the first one? You can read it for yourself. What is that? How is every action performed? So 10 rupees transaction, no importance. 10 lakh transaction, fully important. Doesn't matter. It's all performed. That is the best part about computer systems, no? Automation gives you that advantage. Everything is treated consistently. Obviously, quality is going to remain same. Some days we feel we are very efficient. Alright, today I did some good work. Some days we'll be like, what did we do today? Why are we existing on earth? Because you didn't have done anything productive. Your mind says today you have wasted time. That is in accordance to you. What is waste of time? What is a waste of time for you is not something a waste of time for everybody. That's your definition. So how can the same person feel efficient one day and inefficient another day? That's how we treat because of our feeling. Okay. Today I did something good means you feel the activity that you did is a good activity. Everybody necessarily need not feel. So like that, this productive, unproductive, I am focused on all this nonsense for human beings only. Computer doesn't have all that. It ensures consistency because of which high quality, reliable results and stakeholders will get consistent experience. Somebody treated with high priority, somebody treated with low priority, partiality, all the drama is not there. First and foremost of the advantage of using computers or BPA is what? Quality and consistency. Okay. Then, I guess all of you are using smartphones, so you should be knowing this as a matter of fact. Because you are using automated process. Now if it's updating, I think all of you have software updates coming in or installations happening. Does it show 30%, 40%? Does it show the move? Yes or no? Right now, how much part of this class is over? It's a manual class going on. Now maximum what you can do is calculate by time. Correct? Class has an end time. Or at that end time, this much time is over. 70% of class is over. But that is totally my discretion. Correct? So, human processes, though activity is being done, like a quick question, how much of your preparation for the upcoming exams are done? Oh, you know, shameless people. The one fully prepared. For what? Tomorrow what exam? Language. That is why you are sitting shamelessly. Very good. Language. 92 guarantee. You strive for balance 8 marks. That's all. Okay. Ma, you can get 100, one fail also. Possibilities are there. Oh, you know. They'll count for extra marks what you write also. So, write 200 marks you write. You write English there also. If they ask you, tell that is also language only. Stupid people. Fancy languages you'll choose, no? French. Sanskrit, how many are there? It is spelling Sanskrit. Sanskrit spelling, you know. Hindi? Hindi, Others? Other languages not there. Arabic, Telugu, French. French, amma? Very good. More standard templates are there. English is done. Arabic. It's very good. Ma, language, no. You should always be comfortable. If you are comfortable with a particular language, you got to choose it. Understood? So, otherwise you participate in language debates. Understood? Which the fundamental part of the debate itself is senseless. So anyway, I don't understand what is that. But I've been seeing this language issues for so long. So anyway, get good marks. I told you, 92 is there. You have to work for the other 5-6 marks. Because whatever you write, they'll give you 92 minimum. Rest of them, alright. So back then there used to be something called English practicals. Now also it is there. English practical. We'll read, ma, please. Don't recap such fenta. You never heard of that? You have to go to a particular exam center. They'll, play out a paragraph. You have to listen. Is there now also? It's not there. Back then, I think in the first year or second year, I don't know. In English, phonetics, they'll play, you have to write. Okay. See, whatever they play, answer is same. A. If you write A as 15, at least 8 or 9 will be correct. So you have to follow whichever alphabet you like. And you have to be, unbiased. If you choose today's alphabet is B, all 15 are B. 7 or 8 will be correct. Otherwise, see, like that there'll be 2 or 3 activities. You have to read comprehension correctly. That will check your pronunciation. And then it will give marks there itself. It is something that you can do properly if you know what you are reading. So that won't be a task. But I now think they have removed because students have started breaking their headphones. They thought the cost of conducting that exam is much more than teaching some language to these idiots. So I think that has been done away. I don't know when they got it done, but that is done away with. Now it's not there, no? Very good. So now you do one thing. Focus here. Second point. What is it? Frustrated individuals. Concentrate. How much part of a human activity is done? You cannot depict it in terms of percentages or the part of completion. Okay, concentrate. Come on now. So if Android is updating or iOS updating, it shows this is the total, and in that this percentage is done. Not only that, for every task in BPA or where automation is involved, an estimated completion time is there. Copying a file, 30 seconds are left. So basically it actually shows you. Okay, now there is a thing that I would want you to know here. When it comes to processing, there are two types of processing. Okay, foreground processing and background processing. What is it? What happens on screen is called foreground. What you can see, that is most likely called output, end results, because 9 out of 10 times, or maybe even 10 out of 10 times in many cases, you will not see processing happen on screen unless you are a code writer or a tester or where you are seeing it. Normally the games that you play is an outcome of a program. The only output is visible on screen. You are able to play directly. How that game is being played like that, something is happening, right? Is there a background processing or not? So like that, anyway, whatever action is happening in a BPA, visibility is there. What is there? Visibility. What is the first one? Quality and consistency. Concentrate, you'll understand all 7 easily. First one, everybody clear? Yes. Human beings process, visibility there or not there? Not there, because when human being is performing a process, like let's say taking class is a process here. We can only calculate randomly by time and all that. 60% of class over, 40% of topic is over. You can't tell like that. Okay, so total number of pages are 200. Of that 50 are done. So 1/4, 25% is over. These are vague guess or a calculation. Okay, but in that 25%, like I said, the first 50 pages, 20 pages are not used for exam. Then effective wise, so index and other things. So like that you cannot calculate percentages in human tasks. When it comes to BPA, clear visibility is there. Okay, automated processes are controlled and consistently operate accurately within the defined timeline. If the task takes 5 minutes, you do it 500th time also, it will do it in 5 minutes only. Okay, it gives visibility of the process status. Underline visibility of process. Point number 3. Okay, these are benefits. You can use any order. So I followed the first one, third one. Why I am changing the order, you will just eventually realize. Don't worry. Now, the points 2 and 4 that we just are seeing there, they both are interrelated. Why are they interrelated? What is second point? Guys, tell me, if time is saved, efficiency will improve. Now, what is the fourth point? How will operational efficiency improve? Earlier, what was performed by human beings? Now that is performed by faster or not? So tell me, two things are getting saved here. One is money. Obviously time. But time is money in business. That's all. You save time. You don't have to pay the wage rate. You guys did labor chapter? Hourly rate is there or not? That will be reduced now. And not only that, what earlier was being done by 3 individuals can now be performed by 1. You remember that study of efficiency or not? Machine hour calculations did we do or not? What was earlier performed by so many people? Did you do absorption costing? If you are your overhead absorption rate is based on manual activity versus if your overhead absorption is based on machine activity, difference is there or not? Read 2 and 4, you read. Come on, they are not difficult. That's why I'm asking them to read together. Read. Improved operational efficiency. So it says it. Automation reduces the time it takes. And that is what the second point is. Automation reduces the number of tasks employees would otherwise need to do manually. So because you are doing less activity manually, it is saving you time. And that reduction of time to achieve a task, the effort required to undertake it, and cost of completing it, all these put together will be operational efficiency. Point number 2 talks only specifically about time. Well, 4 talks about everything. In the sense, the entire efficiency aspect. Automation not only ensures that systems run smoothly and efficiently, but errors are eliminated and best practices are constantly leveraged. Once you create a best and optimized computerized process, you repeat it 1000 times, same answer will come. Correct? And going back up will be, it frees up the time to work and it adds genuine value to the business. So people, once, like say if I give you a printed material, the task of writing, drawing margins, will we eliminate all these unwanted mundane tasks or not? So when those, because what is the drawing lines? That's not a value adding activity. Guys, are you understanding? That was the problem in the past, no? We did so much in ledgers, you have to draw so many lines, people have to write so much. In that process, they are going wrong. But now once all those are automated, finally take the balance sheet and P&L and start thinking what to do further. So can you focus more on value-adding activities rather than non-value-adding? It gives freedom of you to allowing thinking, innovation and increasing employee level of motivation. Otherwise, they'll be like draw margin, do this task, close the books of accounts. For that only all the time will go off. So all redundant activity, that is non-value adding, they will only consume all your time. People are not motivated to do all that nonsense. Think how to improve, how to grow. So you can stop doing all those. They're called mundane tasks. That means regular, redundant. See again, it means regular. One more point. Okay, again, a regular activity is called mundane task. It's not like it's a waste task, but it is to be done. Okay, when you say redundant, it is repetitive or unwanted. So like that you can avoid all of that. Now, tell me, if this happens, there are chain effects of this, correct? Reduction of time taken to perform a task. Will it reduce the overall cycle time also? Can we, if these processes are automated, do you remember words like reorder level? Hey, come on, reorder level. Do you remember concepts of reorder quantity, EOQ? Now listen. Okay, listen to what happens normally. Normally, when your stock hits what level? When we'll place an order? Reorder level. Do you remember that? Do you keep a safety stock or buffer stock? So when it hits a reorder level, we'll make an order. You forgot to make an order. So your stock is already running. It's like vehicle going in reserve. Okay, it's a different issue. Many people run their vehicle in reserve only. That's a different story. Right. So your stock is already hit safety stock levels. Now tell me, if the stock is not replenished, will it amount to supply production shortages or not? So when input shortages are there, how will you run production cycle? Will it get a halt or not? And if you are following techniques like just in time, and you don't get the right stock at the right time, will the entire production process be crippled or not? Why are you dependent on some individual to pass this order? When stock hits reorder level, if you can program the system to send a email, it's not a problem. Automating email is not a big deal now. So can a system be programmed enough to, when inventory is hitting a reorder level, automatically can the system send a mail to the respective inventory team saying that so and so department, so much stock has to be replenished? Can we do that or not? Why you think what all these stores at Ratnadeep, D-Mart or any of those Amazon warehouses, somebody is sitting checking inventory and typing? That is, they will do, that is second step. The system will automatically highlight that it has read. Okay, there are some practical challenges here, but in today's time, we will discuss that in another context when we talk ERPs and all that. But tell me, if you are doing this fast, can you reduce the entire time? Can you reduce the entire time or not? Reduction in time will lead to reduction in cost or not? And one of the most important things is compliance. Sorry, I forgot due date. Remember? We discussed now only in the recent times. Forgot due date. What is forgot due date? I don't care whether you forget a due date or remember. You have to pay on the due date. Yes or no? Otherwise, pay penalty and fine. But tell me, which organization will be willing to pay fines and penalties? Right? No organization want to do that. So if you can automate the system to pay all these dues on a particular date, all you have to do is maintain bank balance. If you are not doing that, that is a problem. But if you maintain all that clearly, as a matter of fact in business, can it automatically make all these payments? No delayed payments to departments, no tension, nothing. Are we understanding? Read. There are 3 points. One which talks about reduced turnaround time. I don't think I have to explain that. The one is about reduced cost. Obviously, because once the entire turnaround time comes down, cost will come down. And governance. What do you mean by governance? This monitoring, overseeing activity, not missing due dates, all of that. And guys, tell me, do you have a confidence? Right, I did ask you some time back. When calculator shows you your answer, are you blindly believing? Yes. Why? How did you develop that confidence? Because earlier did you cross check with known inputs? Did it work for you in the past? So today if you pick up your calculator and do any calculation, whatever number it shows, unless you are typing errors, ignoring that, if you have typed the input correctly, whatever output calculator shows, would you want to go by that? Why? Because are you using that as a reliable system or not? Yes. That confidence BPA can give you once it's become an established system, and once it does the regular tasks in a way it does, you can comfortably leave it to it. No sir, if system does is correct, like how you are saying, no sir, if the calculator says it is correct, same confidence can be developed. What is it called? Reliability and governance. Please read all the 3 points. What is reliability and governance? The consistency. Every time it's doing the same thing. Your calculator does the same thing. Just imagine that. Okay. So that stakeholders can blindly go ahead and rely on the business process. It also gives you a reliable process to customers by maintaining a competitive advantage. Eliminating all unnecessary tasks and realigning steps to optimize the flow of information. Right from, I told you the example when I started the class. Imagine manual billing in DMart. Senseless. Not to talk also. Waste of time. It's practically not possible. My shopping will take less time than billing. That is, now also standing in queue might be a problem. That's all. But billing doesn't take time. The number of people getting billed are so much. It's not that billing takes time. Between 3 to 7 minutes, any big quantity, billing is done. Okay. But otherwise, just imagine manual billing. Now you don't know whether if you scan the same thing that got scanned earlier, it will not get scanned twice. But in manual billing, you can keep on everything will be on the table only. Now after some time, was this billed or not billed? Again you will check. It's practically impossible to do that small activity only billing. So reducing all of that, right? Production, servicing, billing, collection, all those process, whatever unwanted steps are there, they're all removed. And this adjustment of process distill mean breaks down operational performance and reduces the turnaround time for both staff and customers. Last point is easy. Manual tasks, given that they are performed only one at a time, are slower than an automated task and will cost more. Automation will allow you to accomplish more by utilizing fewer resources. Now you know, up to one point here, this is not 100% true that it reduces cost just like that. Hello, you are buying computers and other equipment and all that. Does it not involve capital cost? You studied payback period? Yes. Payback period, IRR. Those things are high. Your payback period and an internal rate of return that it generates, that will outweigh. Otherwise, hello, BPA is not a free activity. You got to pay for it. Are you going to get more benefits than what you are going to pay for? That you don't know. We have to analyze. You cannot say a confident yes. If the answer is no, then don't do BPA. No, after buying all the equipment and doing everything, it is going to result in a net loss. It's better not doing it, no? Understood? So that is exactly why we not subscribe to some of these activities or ideas unless it is workable. Okay? Check this out. What are the points? I want all of you to tell this a small shortcut or a simple way. We'll say quit, but not with a U, with a V. QVIT. What are the 4 points? Quality and consistency. Visibility of process status. Hello, visibility of what? Of the process status. How is it happening? Visibility. Improved operational and time saving. Okay, and then 3 R's. R. What are those 3? Reliability and governance. Yes, ma. Reliability and governance. Once you are using system, it treats every transaction in the same manner. So there is reliability and governance, and 2 things are reduced. What are reduced? Reduced turnaround time and reduced cost. Okay. So is it worth going for these 7 benefits? Ma, despite all the headaches that I told you, is it worth going for these 7? But so many things are there. Okay, 1 is scale of operation. Like I said, all these 7 won't come for free. Does it involve a huge capital cost or not? So we will have to analyze. It's a circumstantial question and a case wise. For somebody it might be beneficial, for somebody it might not. So every time you are thinking of a BPA activity, you have to answer two more questions. Like the next question. Which areas BPA is preferable? Areas where process is repeated. Can we do BPA? Areas where intellectual thinking is required. Would you want to prefer to do it on your own or go with rely on BPA? Would you want to prefer to do it on your own or not? I'm going to give you one simple, very possible exam question because in the recent time it is introduced. They can ask you. What is that? Areas suitable for automation. Sir, are you saying other than what is given in that paragraph you should not automate anything? Yes. Are you clear with 7 advantages? Yes. To get these 7 advantages, you should choose proper areas. If you go and automate some nonsense and say I want all these 7 benefits, you may not get it. Sir, then what should I do? Come on, focus. Simple points. What is the question? Hello, what is the question? Which business processes should be automated, or basically areas? Low number of times. In a year you will do only 3 or 4 times an activity. Would you want to automate that? Why? Do it manually. Cost will be much lower. In the sense, it's a less volume, less repetitive task. But if it's a high volume, highly repetitive, like billing in DMart, can we automate such process or not? Yes. Underline high volume, repetitive tasks. Okay, before that, this paragraph is what I told you some time back in my own terms, but now is good. Technology, is it compulsory or only an enabler? Underline that technology is just an enabler, it is not compulsory. Technology is an enabler of business process. BPA offers many advantages. What does it do? To businesses. But every business process is not a good fit for automation. Why do you say that? Because some process which don't fall in the below 5 categories, they don't need to be automated. It's an unnecessary headache for us to go automate and waste time. So keep it simple. Companies tend to automate only those processes which are what? Critical. Time and resource critical. Time and resource intensive means that something that consumes your time and resource. Operationally, and only those are subject to human error. Is it sensible to automate those areas where human errors are there? Okay, I would want you to read first 3 because they are easy. Come on. 4th one I will explain. Do you remember a few days back I explained you what is audit trail? Don't worry, I will explain you once again. 4th point I will tell you. But first 3, very easy. High volume or repetitive task. Something that requires multiple people. Earlier if it required multiple people, if you introduce automation in that area, with one computer can we do 3 people's work? Yes, and time sensitive process. I don't think you will have any problem reading these 3. Come on. Guys, tell me what are the first 3. Which process are good for automation? High volume or repetitive process. Process that require multiple people. Okay, we will fill the other 2 after you read this 3. Come on, very easy. Guys, come on, don't waste time. Fast. Time sensitive. First point, summary is very simple. High volume, repetitive task. Just underline that. High volume, repetitive. Second one, process that requires multiple people to execute tasks result in waiting time. They have to finish, then give it to me. Then I have to do all that drama. If you want to avoid, get a computer to do that. That is, get automation into that. So that you can remove the waiting time involved. Automating these processes result in reduction of waiting time and in cost. Then all those processes, time is an essence of doing certain things. BPA results in streamlined process. Which process? Streamlined. And faster turnaround times. The streamlined process eliminate all wasteful activities and focus only on those tasks that add value. So time sensitive processes are best suited for automation. Online banking, ticket bookings, railways, aircrafts, everything. I think there was a time which you might have not seen where all this was manual. So by the time you guys got to realize and understand all this, they are already online. So today ticket booking wasn't sound like, what is it, a big task? If I pick up my smartphone, I'll be able to do ticket booking. That's what you think. The same ticket we've stand, like line for hours for so much. Like there are days where people used to stand in bank queues for 1 hour, 2 hours just to deposit your money or withdraw. In a railway ticket booking counter for so many hours to get a ticket booked. Like it's all redundant, waste of time. What did people productively do in that 3 hours? Nothing. Made new friends in the line. It's actually no value adding exercise. What did you? And there are so many instances where, forget about all this. That time though, there were no systems to know whether it is available also. So to wait there in the queue, when you produce your document, they'll check that and you'll type in that time. After so one, they'll take tickets are not there. Those days also are there. So today, before you do anything, whether tickets are availability, for availability one check, for actual booking one check, everything is there, integrated. Okay, you come that far. Now guys, point number 4 is an easy point only. I just stopped because I wanted to explain that. Those processes that require compliance means what, ma? Means meeting a requirement. It's a statutory point. Is it better to automate them? Because if you go by manual, on the due date if you forget. And those processes where you require an audit trail. Audit trail means a track of the entire flow, start to end of process. Yes or no? Yes. With BPA, every detail of a particular process is recorded. Write on there in bracket. Audit trail is there, no? Write on there in bracket. Recording start to end of a process or tracing from start to end of a process. Recording start to end of a process. With business process automation, every detail of a particular business recorded, and these details can be used to demonstrate the compliance during audits. For example, invoice issued to vendors, you forget something, do something, all of that. I think everybody can understand 5th point easily because the title itself says so. What are they called as, ma? One process that is connected to other process. Sometime back we recollected. What are they called? What is that word? One process on which other dependent on. Cross. Those processes if you automate, is it better or not? Read. Significant impact. Those processes that have significant impact on others. What are they called? In the second line, can you see? Some processes are called cross-functional and have significant impact on the others. And what is seriousness? In cross-functional process, different departments within the same company work hand in hand to achieve a common goal. When they are all working for a common goal, why more different systems? Can we have one automated system that can do that or not? So, come back now here and tell me what are the 5 processes that we are suitable for automation. High volume or repetitive? Multiple people, time sensitive. Where you need compliance, then don't take a chance. Where compliance is required or any audit trail is required, start to end of a process, trace it like that. And cross-functional I will write, okay? Cross-functional process. What is BPA? Factors that you have to make sure are the advantages or benefits. Which areas are suitable for automation? One last thing to wrap up is a small 4-point answer called, is this a smooth road? No. Only challenges are there. It's not like you can't do automation. Okay? What is the question here? What are the challenges involved? Okay, what are the challenges involved in BPA? See, any good concept is not very easy to perform. So start reading the first one. Challenges. 4 of them only are there. Actually very easy. What is the first one? Now, you told automation is very suitable for. Right, did you sometime back just tell automation is very suitable for redundant process or not? Tell me what is redundant process? Not definition. Which one? I am not asking definition. In a business, marketing is redundant. Can you tell like that? Depends on? That is the tension. So what if I classify a good process redundant, repetitive, unwanted? Classification issues are there. Remember back then we studied about the story of SBUs. Something that is not an SBU, you classified that as SBU. Then will you give unwanted importance to that? Same way here also. What is not requiring automation, you are unnecessarily calling it a very important process and doing automation, and that could lead to a unwanted spending. Are you understanding? Point number 1. Sometimes organizations start off the automation project by automating processes they find suitable for automation without really considering whether they are necessary. Do they create value? That is a problem. Yes or no? Sir, we'll automate entry door. That means it's a good thing. See, automating entry door is a good thing. That is, tap your card and then come in. But 10 employees are working in the organization. Why do you need? If 500 people are working, it makes sense. Who is going out? Who is coming in? We can't keep a track. 10 people are only there. Everybody knows whose working timings are what. Why do you need that? No, sir, but automation, it is available. Available doesn't mean you have to use, no? So, in other cases, some tasks require high amount of, underline this word, tacit knowledge. There are 2 types of knowledge, both which you don't have. One is explicit knowledge, which you can, active knowledge. I will get pain. Please spare me. Active knowledge, passive knowledge, conclusive knowledge, destructive knowledge, no knowledge. That is good for you. You remain. Okay. So half, quarter. Right. Ma, you listen to me, okay? You don't use your knowledge, right? Because trying to use something that is not there is costly. Now, there are 2 types. Write down there. Ray. They'll tell, no, I'll die laughing. That is what will happen to you. Be careful. Simply, just like that. Write down there. What is that? Ma, read ma. What is there in bracket? You read. Okay, there are 2 classifications in knowledge. One is explicit knowledge and one is tacit. Tacit knowledge is experience. You cannot document that in paper. Tacit knowledge cannot be documented or transferred from one person to the other. It's about an individual's experience. So you can't go and ask a surgeon, how did you have this high success rate of doing all the operations correctly? See, that surgeon follows the process in the book only, that to available to everyone. But the success rate is high there. There is something that they cannot properly put it in terms. Like if you go and ask any professional for that matter, how do you do your tasks so accurately? It could be a result of several years of hard work and experience, which cannot be basically documented. Explicit knowledge is the other kind of knowledge that's available in the books, which is open to everybody. Everybody who reads that can get that knowledge if you read properly, right? So, BPA, that task requires high amount of tacit knowledge, and therefore it seeks employees to use their personal judgment. And can judgment go wrong? So, your judgment on what is a redundant process can go wrong. That's what they're telling. Ma, if you unnecessarily automate a process that doesn't require automation, there will be a problem. That is what that point actually means. So, some of these processes are generally not good candidates for automation, and they are hard to encode and automate. And if you choose to automate one of those processes, time and money both will go waste. What is the first challenge? defining what is a redundant process. 2, same meaning, but this time we are calling a complex. What is a complex process? Something which is complex for somebody can be easy for somebody else. BPA requires, do you remember BPR? Business process. And there was one great risk that I explained there. If it goes wrong, a well healthy doing business will get killed. Did I tell you this in B? So if you automate a process which doesn't need automation, it can bring down the entire business to standstill. So be very careful. BPA requires re-engineering of some of the business process that requires significant amount of time to be allocated and spent at this stage, which requires a detailed understanding of the underlying business process. What are the first 2 challenges, ma? Hello, these are only, listen, these are only challenges. It's not like you can't conquer them. If you can clearly define what is complex process, is this problem solved? Yes. If you know what is redundant and non-redundant, first point is solved. But these are only challenges. They are not persistent problems for which solutions are not there. Not like that. These are issues which you need to sort before you get into the story. 3, will staff be welcoming with open hands? Yes, we are welcome for change. I told you so many times in strategic management, when you are willing to bring any change, when you are, resistance is a normal consequence. Yes or no? In most cases, because they don't want, I'm used to something. The main obstacle is acceptance of automated process. Tell me, will that result in losing jobs? Loss of jobs to some people, yes or no? So why will they welcome? Come on, take me out of the job. Bring system. Why will they tell? They will not. So staff resistance will be there. Staff may see process automation as a way of reducing their decision making availability. Staff may see process automation as a way of reducing their decision making. This is due to the reason that automated processes, management has a greater visibility. What do you have? Of process, and can make decisions that used to be made by staff earlier. Moreover, the staff may perceive automation as a threat to their job, so nobody is welcoming them with open hands and say, yes, automate the process. It's a challenge. First, you have to convince your staff to understand, yes, automation is being done for the benefit of the organization, and you will definitely be trained and you will still be part of the organization. You have to do all that. You have to give them that confidence that they will not be thrown out of the job, right? They will be trained to do the work on the new one. All this has to be explained and told, okay? And then, the last but the most important limitation always be the implementation of automated process. Whatever you read earlier, they are all true, but with the cost. None of this is going to come for free. So it may be an expensive proposition sometimes in terms of acquisition or development. Either you develop it on your own. The difference between acquisition means acquisition is a direct buyout. Ready-made softwares are available, you can buy them. Development means you are writing your own software. You are writing means a team, IT team. Okay, you are doing the coding and we are getting it. So 4 of these. Come on, tell me what is this? What are the 4 challenges? You are automating a redundant process, complex process, staff resistance, and the cost of implementation can also be a challenge. Are we clear about the very first topic? Yes, sir. A business, does it have to compulsorily be automated? No. But if it chooses to do BPA, this is what we would go for. It is called business process automation. Technology enabled automation of basic business process. What is automation? What are the 4 topics we have seen? How to do automation? An 8-step process is there. Once automation is done, will it bring new risks? Yes. What are the risks? What are the controls? How will other topics unfold? We will cover going forward. Okay? That will take up in the next class.